Jason, we thank you for joining us today on our program. This is actually a huge, when you just look at it and say, I'm going to change me, that's a huge feat. Where should someone start if they want to, quote unquote, reinvent themselves?
Yeah, good question. I looked at that poll and I'm suspicious. I wonder if the large percentage of people who have not tried to reinvent themselves are actually happy or are kind of stuck. One of the things that I'm very aware of is that there are a lot of people who are walking around not necessarily happy. They're directionless, their purpose in life is vague, and but they don't know really what to do. And it's no coincidence, by the way, that self-help books and growth-related books are skyrocketing. Motivational speaking is skyrocketing. People are, I think, in general, at least most of us, are really looking for ways that we can do better. And you were right. I think a lot of it can start with us. One of the things I think people need to know is that finding personal meaning in life is probably not going to come from some mystical scripture. You know, a lot of people think if I only had some kind of a secret wisdom of the ages and I knew that, then things would be better. I think what people need to know is that it really does start with a series of very basic decisions. Really what I'm talking about is decisions, negotiations that make up your lifestyle. I don't think anybody wakes up one day and has a whole new meaning in life. That starts gradually and it's incorporated over time. So every day we have to work to get personal meaning in life.
A lot of people try to change themselves, whether it be a hairstyle, job, etc. Sometimes change is good, but change for the sake of change oftentimes can be negative. How about some positive ways we can change ourselves? And I know it depends. For each person it's different because you kind of have to take a personal inventory of yourself. But that's got to be hard because you need someone who can help you be objective, because I can't find my faults all the time. My wife is a good person to help me with that.
Right.
She helps me figure out what we need to work on together.
Right. You bring up a good point. One of the things that a lot of people do is spend a lot of time trying to interpret why it is that they feel stuck. Why they try to analyze all the things that are going on in their lives that are wrong. One of the things that I recommend to folks is actually doing the reverse. Spend time really inventorying what your strengths are. What is going well in your life? You couldn't really function day to day if there weren't some things that were going well in your life and things that you appreciate. I mentioned two words before, purpose and direction. Those are also really important in getting meaning, and that is, we know from people who have a lot of meaning in their life that they have a clear set of objectives. What is it that they want from life? What is it that they want from themselves? And probably even more important, since we're social beings, what is it that they want from family and friends and the community? And so one of the things I recommend is to really do an inventory. Matter of fact, businesses do this every day. Sometimes we should probably run our lives like we run successful businesses. That is, do an inventory of strengths and monopolize on those. Do spend some time focusing on some weaknesses and have a plan to learn skills and new attitudes and behaviors to make up for those.
And then I would say, or I would ask you this, it seems like that once you have all this information and then once you decide the changes are how you want to improve on that, would you say then one thing at a time, don't overwhelm yourself with too much at once, because most likely I think that would be a recipe for failure.
Right, that's right. As a matter of fact, we know from our lottery winners, research from lottery winners, these are folks who have all this new money and they think that they're going to get all kinds of new personal meaning in their lives, but what a lot of them find out is that it just creates more problems because it's too fast, too much.
Sure.
And so you're right, and that is really baby steps is the way to go. And the important thing is to really be persistent and consistent. In other words, do those baby steps consistently every day.
Be proactive.
And don't feel bad if every day isn't perfect, because every day can't be perfect.
That's right, and that brings up another good point. I kind of go by the 3 R's as you're looking at change. Really, are those changes realistic? In other words, are they within your reach? If they're not, then ask yourself, what are the pieces of my dream, perhaps, that I can achieve? I also tell folks to ask themselves, is what you're doing right? Is it right for you? Is it right for your family? Part of change means that you have to negotiate what it is you want and how it is that it affects your loved ones. And then you also have to ask yourself, is it responsible? So that you live a clean life and a life that you could be proud of.
All right, Dr. Russell Sabella, thank you very much. Florida Gulf Coast University. He says responsible, so I'm not going to go out and buy the BMW today, just so I can have a change in my life.
Probably a good idea.
Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
We always
Pleasure.
enjoy having you on. Hope to
Thank
see
you
you
very
soon.
much.